Bobby, it was a lot of fun riding mountain bikes with you this morning. Especially the last lap when I was following behind you and you went off of that rock.
I did that on purpose.
And then over your handlebars.
But I did that on purpose.
And onto the ground.
But I did that on purpose.
And then you screamed out in pain and asked for your mom.
I yelled very manly out in pain and asked for my mom. Hey, welcome to This Is Gravel episode number. We have too many to count. What have you been up to, Leland?
I don't have enough fingers for how many episodes we're up to now. So
Awesome, that's good.
Gets me confused. What have I been up to? Well, I think everyone has met our store manager, Adam Blake, but Gravel City Adventure and Supply Company is up and running, and so that's been a big part of what we've been working on. And with he and Tim Moan down running smoothly, Jim and I have been back to work planning the Dirty Kanza with registration only a couple short months away.
It is. That takes up definitely a large portion of your lifetime.
Yes, so. It's a pretty big event and keeps us busy.
Cool.
So, what have you been up to?
Yes, I've been waiting for you to
talk
ask
about
what I have been up to. I've been riding bikes as much as I can get in right now because as much as last year I tried to ride through the winter, I kind of slowed down there towards the end, and I want to get all this nice weather in as I can. So get as many miles as I can. So.
Afternoons in the 60s still.
It's perfect out there. So if you can get some time away from work, get out there and ride a little bit. Yeah. Perfect. We did have we did last weekend have a ride, the Freedom Fest ride here in Emporia. It was what I did, and it was a 40-mile ride with some friends. Dressed up as casual as I could do, and had a good day until the pedal broke 10 miles in, and then rode kind of with a broken pedal the rest of the way. But it was good. Salsa demo truck was here, so we had a good time.
Yes, it was a fantastic ride.
Did you get try out any bikes?
I did. In fact, I got to ride a Salsa Timberjack, which I have one on order for myself. So
that was quick. Did you order it the same day?
Nope. I already had it in the works. Knew
Nice.
I wanted it. Looking forward to that.
Nice. Anything coming up?
Well, I don't know what events are on the horizon.
Nothing at all? Trail rides? Anything?
Well, a lot more mountain biking in my future.
Didn't mean to catch you so off guard there.
Yeah.
Since we last talked to y'all, we did have a ride here in town for Halloween called the Boo Cruise. Babes on Bikes put it on. It was a good event. I think they drew around 30 to 40 people. I unfortunately was unable to make it, but producer Matt was there, and he has some footage for you.
The Boo Cruise. We were doing Lunar Kanza as a group, and we're having fun riding in the dark, and thought we would see if other people wanted to maybe do a costume ride. Yeah.
I mean, you can see just the impact having our group has had on Emporia, and the amount of women and the amount of beginners that Gretchen's worked with that have been women, and this is a great opportunity for people who are a little bit nervous to learn how to ride in a comfortable, safe environment.
Cool. And those beginners have, a couple of them have turned into leaders themselves.
So I got started with Babes on Bikes in February, and part of the reason I did is because I was genuinely terrified to go out and ride by myself, and seeing a group of men was the last thing on my mind as far as trying to get involved in community biking. And over the summer we've gotten a little bit more visibility, and people have seen that, women have seen that, and it's given them a little bit more courage to get out and try something new. And we like to encourage women of all shapes, sizes, levels, ages, anything, and I think that's what brings more women to our group and what has made them want to be more involved in what we're doing.
And I do enjoy cycling, but I don't really feel comfortable riding by myself, and so riding with a group of women makes it more enjoyable, and I'm more likely to go out and ride ride with them.
Okay.
It's fun.
It doesn't hurt that we've also become friends.
Yes.
You know, so we have coffee together and spend time together outside of cycling as well. So.
Yes.
Okay.
Gary.
Thanks, Matt, for putting together the clip on the Boo Cruise. I think it's a great event. Hopefully they keep doing them. Next year, I'd like to make it myself. So
Riding bikes can be fun.
riding bikes can be fun, and wearing costumes is always fun, as long as the costume doesn't get stuck in the chain.
Yeah.
That would be painful.
Which is why I didn't wear my Princess Leia.
You could have tearaway costumes.
Oh, wow.
No? No? Okay. Leland and I have become very adept at segueing between episodes. You know we do a wonderful job. You can't even tell what we're trying to do.
Seamless.
We have no segue for this next clip, but we think it's a very important clip. The clip is with a friend of ours, Nicole Blakemore, who is she's an avid commuter to work. We wanted to do this earlier in the season. Her teacher schedule and our schedule just didn't sync up, so we're so glad that we're able to get this in now. Pay attention and listen to Nicole.
I love riding a bike, and when I was a child, I lived really close to a trail that went from my house maybe 3 blocks north and 5 blocks south, and that's like all that I would do whenever the weather was nice and I needed something to do. My best friend growing up also lived at the bottom of the neighborhood hill, so we would, when we got bigger, we could meet and go for rides together. So. When I moved to Emporia, I didn't have a car. My fiance at the time had a car, but I was really interested in not ever needing it. A few years ago, I moved to Slovenia and obviously didn't have my own transportation there. There was excellent public transportation in the village where I lived. But when I came back, I decided that since I lived for a year without my own car, I could easily live for, I don't know, as long as possible without a car, and commute everywhere that I went, which meant some pretty long commutes at the beginning, like Lawrence to Manhattan and back. I used to. I have this beautiful Specialized Tricross, and for a while this was the only bike that I did anything on. I have a rack on the back and it fits 2 panniers, and I can also pile quite a few things on here. When I moved to Emporia, I rode this bike all the time on gravel as well, and living in this town and starting to race, and after doing the first Sturdy Kanza, I bought a gravel racing bike as well. So no, not anymore, unless I am going home to see my folks or making a trek somewhere further away. Then I bring this with the rack. I'm a teacher, which there are good days and bad days, and the good days, it's really fun to just ride home and think about everything that went well from the day. The bad days, it's really nice to ride home fast and kind of leave all of that behind. The ride to school is also great to just kind of go over in my head what I need to do when I get to school and what I don't want to forget when I'm teaching. It's easy to think when you're doing the same bike ride that you do every day, and I feel really lucky that I get to do that. I love it. I hope that I always live somewhere where I can take a reasonable bicycle commute to work, because I think it really helps work to be at work, and the rest, it helps separate work and free time a little bit. Not that they don't bleed into each other also, but.
Nicole gets it. Commutes count. Strava says so.
You'll never make hashtagging cool. Yeah. Okay.
It's a thing.
It's a thing. Okay.
What time is it, Bobby?
It is time to turn my sign over.
Yes. It is the season for Zwifting.
I like Zwifting.
Yeah.
I rode in London last week.
But we're not talking about that.
Oh, it is time for questions and answers. We should do an answers and questions segment. I give you an answer and you come up with a question for it.
Yes.
Okay, let's do that next time. Okay.
All right.
Next time.
All responses in the form of a question.
Pinky out, if in doubt.
All right, Bobby. The people have spoken. They've sent in their questions and they need to know. How does the cold weather change your riding? What are you doing different now?
I
Besides
ride
riding in
for
London.
15 minutes instead of 2 hours.
Foggy London town.
It was cold on Zwift the other day. I opened up the window to simulate London.
So you're going shorter.
Going shorter, doing, no, not 15 minutes, no. I'm doing hour rides instead of longer rides when I'm going out in the cold mornings. Right now, the weather, it can be 30s and 40s if I go out at 8 o'clock in the morning. Layering is a bigger part because that temperature is rising pretty quick right now. You can get hot pretty quick. So doing a lot more layering and watching my drinking a lot more nutrition. So you?
Drinking a lot more nutmeg or cider?
No, I'm actually trying to keep on top of my nutrition because in an hour ride, as we all know, I could skip everything altogether. But I'm trying to listen for once. So.
Well, you pretty much, I think, covered most reasons or most things that people are doing when the weather changes a little bit. Reduce your exposure if you don't have the equipment to be out there. Understand that layers are important because the weather will change, especially if you're going early and riding long. It will warm up as you go, and your body will warm up. So some things to keep in mind.
You know, the biggest part on I think, cold weather riding is the prep. Instead of 15 minutes hopping in the kit and going, it can take 30 minutes to get everything ready.
It can take a while.
Yeah.
So allow for more time.
Allow for more time.
To get ready.
Number 2, are you riding tubeless? And if so, do you take a spare tube on a race?
Yeah, so I've got every bike set up tubeless, and I would highly encourage everyone to do that. There's really no downside to it. There's only advantages. You're going to reduce rotational weight. You're going to prevent things like pinch flats, but you still can get a flat tire even with tubeless. So absolutely you must be prepared. You got to remember one of the key attractants to gravel is being out there, being remote, sometimes riding by yourself, and that means you also have to rely on yourself. So to go out there without the necessary equipment, regardless of your bike setup, would just be foolish.
That one time you go out without a tube is the one time you're going to slice the sidewall and get a flat. Mm-hmm. So I was on a race here last month and I had 2 tubes. Unfortunately, I didn't pack my hand pump and my CO2 didn't work and blew out. So then I had to wait, luckily, for the next rider to come along and help me out.
Unless you're going to huff and puff, the tube is pretty useless without a device to air it up.
So I mean, the important thing is on a gravel ride to be prepared. Yeah, you need to pack at least 1 tube.
Yeah.
So
go tubeless, bring a tube.
Oh, I dropped it.
That was terrible. So we know Nicole commutes to work, but do you, Bobby?
Unfortunately, I cannot commute to work. I drop the kids off every morning. We live about 7 miles from the school, and it's just, I'm sure people do it. I mean, I'm sure people change their lifestyles. We're out in the country a little bit, and it's just not something that we can do. So no, I don't. I don't commute to work.
So Bobby cannot or chooses not to. We'll let you weigh in on that.
Yeah, there's no way they can ride the 7 miles to theirs yet. So
to school.
Yeah, I'm not pulling both of them.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, I don't have that dilemma. No children to tow along, and I'm only about a mile from work. So yes, I commute regularly, and it's actually makes a noticeable difference. I arrive to work energized, ready to work, with a good attitude, and I can tell that that short bike ride to work, which sometimes I'll throw in. I just so happen my commute goes right by the local campus trails, and if I've got the time, I might throw in an extra lap before coming up to work. So definitely energizes me and gets me ready to go to work.
Do you bring a change of clothes with you?
Not typically. I just ride in what I show up to work in.
So you're just stinky all day long?
Jim's got to deal with me in full stink.
Don't make fun of me not washing my kit anymore. Okay. All right, number 4. How has the time change affected your biking time?
Well, in reality, my biking time has been pretty much 0, so it hasn't really altered me a whole lot. But admittedly, I have been getting out there a little bit more, and so if anything, all it'll do is make sure to have my lights on my bike when I leave, and I still try to get out there for 45 to 60 minutes when I can, a few times a week, and so I won't let the shorter days slow me down. I'm going to get my 4 hours a week.
You get your 4 hours in. It's actually helped me because I ride in the mornings.
Yeah, there you go.
I drop the kids off, run home,
you
and
get your
ride real quick.
daylight back.
So I get my daylight back. But we do have numerous friends that ride after work, and they just started night riding more. Again, you're going to shorten your ride time anyway. So a quick hour out there after dark it's a good time to ride gravel. So.
And I mean, you can't tell the people enough about the Zwift. If you got to move indoors and race against people from all across the world.
I love riding Zwift, and it's almost always daytime on the Zwift machine.
It's always sunshiny.
It's always sunny and shiny on the Zwift, so yes.
Beautiful. Okay, well, we can't go through an entire episode without bringing it up. I mean, our right to vote is an important one, Bobby. So have you done your duty, and did you vote for the new goo flavor?
I absolutely voted for the new goo flavor from Goo Energy Labs. I voted for the cola flavored goo. Made sure I did my due diligence, I did my research, and decided that cola was the way to go. So with that, what did you vote for this time?
Well, here I am, and I was not prepared, and I was not an informed voter, and I don't even know what the 5 candidates were.
You don't know what the 5 candidates were?
No. Is voting still open?
Voting is still open,
is still
so you need
open.
to make sure.
Okay, so there's time, people. Educate yourself, rock the vote, pick your new goo flavor of choice.
Let's act like we didn't cut away to a clip right there, and we're still staring at each other, and they will not know the people.
Producer Matt edits it flawlessly.
Oh, we don't edit anything. This is completely live, 100%.
Don't ever know.
Matt's going to throw the 5 flavors up there for you, so we can help you pick out.
Go to Goo Energy Labs.
Go to Goo Energy Labs, vote for your 5, and vote for cola so that I win. Request that you please remember to hashtag us on Instagram and Facebook at This Is Gravel or Gravel Guru, and we're going to please ask that you tune in a couple weeks for our next episode. So right around Thanksgiving time is when we're going to do it. So love you all. Talk to you later. Bye.